Hello everyone, it's Julian Effects of DW Trading. Today we are going to be looking at some market setups and what we have to discuss concerning the market on the very first day of September 2020. Okay, you need to understand that previous results doesn't guarantee future performance. Okay, and trading involves great risk, and the essence of this presentation is not for any financial advice. Okay, it's just for educational purpose, and every result that occurs as a result of taking any trade from here we will not be held accountable. Okay, let's get straight into the chart and then see what we have in terms of how we want to approach this with the students and also the VIP section. Okay, here we're looking at Euro this week, actually doing more of what we want to see doing with the Euro. But I want to start with the Euro AUD, and we spoke about the Euro AUD that we want to see actually the breaks out from the Euro AUD, and so far so good. We have started to see the breaks out from the Euro AUD. As you can see that this was also a clear structure in the market, but looking at it from a weekly time frame and a monthly time frame, that this is also clearly a structure in the market which we have so far seen. Okay, so for last month candle actually did come into this testing back this zone. Okay, so all the way up here and all the way down here, so we can expect all the way up there one more time into testing this structure one more time. So that's what we could expect to see of the market and how everything is faring, because definitely this is a very key structure in the market. And looking at how everything is faring on Monday, we want to see a confirmation that price is indeed ready to actually take that bold step into moving to the next level which we want to see it move into. So definitely we then started seeing this filling candle, and we can expect the next candle to come in and then fill in the week. Okay, so let's go down to the H4 to see what kind of setup we have from the H4 and how everything is faring in the market at the moment. So look at the H4 candle. We had this all rise on Monday, this all drop, this all rise, which came into this key area here. So we could identify that this is a key area here, guys. Okay, so what I want to be doing this day is I want to be staying up the market and then identifying if we can then have a break up this structure. And if we could then have a break up that structure, I think that would be a nice time to actually start looking for setups to actually get involved in the market. But looking at overall how everything is faring at pre-New York session, I don't think it would be a nice time to actually look to trade this pay. Okay, so we will look for a bounce of the lows one more time, because that will be a nice entry point. Look for bounce of the lows one more time, and if we can have a bounce of the lows one more time, I think that would be a nice time to actually look into taking that trade action and putting on that trading garment into taking that wonderful trade which we want to see. Okay, so looking at how everything is faring, we could actually expect that price would come into some sort of consolidation here, or some sort of expanding. Okay, because definitely I teach my students that definitely you want to be following what the market is doing. So you can have markdown, okay, consolidation, which could either be reaccumulation, okay, or distribution. So it can be distribution and we have price going back up. Okay, so it can be reaccumulation and we have price still coming back down as we wanted to see. So, but definitely, when we expect to have something like this, we need to see what the area market is doing and want to then understand what we want to do. So, if it's a reaccumulation, we expect a bounce up here and a drop. If a redistribution, we can expect a bounce up down here and boom. So I have reasons to believe that this is not a reaccumulation. This is redistribution. Okay, this is distribution. I expect a distribution phase of the market to actually start coming from here, because definitely at the end of this weekly candle, I want to have confirmation as to what is happening in the market. So if I'm to be taking any scalp trade today, I think I would love to take a scalp trade inside of this area and then do a little scalping inside of this area. But definitely, I don't teach my students and I don't teach anyone to actually be involved in scalping, because definitely it's not really something you could do on the long run. So I will only look to take a buy trade here, okay, risking probably daily ATR, okay, on the run, so I could risk 20 pips and then target 58 pips. So that would be nice, a nice trade to take inside the area. So looking at here, risking 20 pips here. So from here to here will be 20 pips. So let's look at 20 pips. What risk would you like for 20 pips? You can risk 25 pips. Okay. 1.613. So 6.3 should be somewhere around here. All right. 6.3 should be somewhere around. So we can actually come into taking that risk. So if you have to take a buy trade here, and we look at our risk to be here, okay, okay, 631, 613. Okay, and our target should be 1.620 to 1.621. That will be our target. So let's see what's going to look like in terms of risk reward. So we are going to be risking $17 and we are going to be targeting $41. That's really awesome. And looking at it, it's more than the 1:2.3 risk reward trade. So that's a very good trade to take. And I would really advise that to take such a trade because definitely we are supposed to be going up. So we can have a bounce of this zone throughout the whole of the week, but that's no problem because we can always come here and then come here. That's what I understand. And definitely I want to be long on the euro against the AUD. Okay, so looking at the whole market overview, I want to be sharing with you the whole market overview and what I think of the general market as a whole. All right, so let's just take the outline. Okay. So we are in August, okay, and if you want to look at the past, how everything has been faring inside of August from the past and how we ought to look to approach August, okay, this was all August here, okay. We had the drop from June down here, and from that point we started going up. We had also here from March, we dropped down whole of March to June. Then we can start looking for some sort of consolidation here in order to rise up. So definitely I would expect to see price come into testing this structure one more time on the near term. Okay, probably before the year runs out, I expect the Euro AUD to actually come up to testing the 1.80. Okay, so what do we have next with the GBP AUD? The GBP AUD is also quite significant, but looking at how everything is going in the market, I don't think I'll be taking any trade off the GBP AUD at the moment. So next on our list will be the Euro GBP. Euro GBP, we expect here, okay, for Euro GBP to make a rally one more time into testing the structure here. I expect to see a rally of the structure here one more time. A test of this zone would be really awesome. Test of this zone would be really awesome. The 0.92. 0.92, 0.93, this would be a very awesome zone to actually see the market coming to testing. 0.93 would be awesome. Okay, because definitely I expect to see a rise from this point. And I spoke about this for last month that only when we have a retracement such as this into testing back the reverse structure here, only that time can we look to enter into a trade. But looking at the whole general market overview, okay, this was on a Monday. Okay, so we need to wait for confirmation, further confirmation that on a Tuesday. But definitely we're not going to be taking any trade because so far so good in the week. We have seen the pay actually currently trading at plus 0.11% in the day. So we're not going to look to take any trade up here. We need to see the pay, then do a bid out. Only then can we look to take any trade. We need to see a bid out of that pay. Then once there's a bid out, okay, we can then look to take, because generally on Monday what we saw was a bullish move, retracement, and we can actually have another one. So if we can have another one breaking previous high, then we then take opportunity and then start drawing those channels which we want to see, because definitely by the time we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, I think that would be a nice time for everyone to start drawing channel and we can obviously have a drop. But definitely inside of this month, what I want to be doing is to put in a buy order here around the 0.9889. That would be a good awesome area. So looking at the next on our chart will be the Euro card. Euro card, we expect the Euro card to rise further into coming to test the target which we have set out for the 1.610, which is our target, and we want to see that coming in, because definitely what is happening in the market is definitely a bullish flag. Okay, so we started having this consolidation right from June. Okay, after the June peak has been hit, we started having this consolidation sort of around August, which consolidated more of August. So we are expecting August to actually further rise again into testing this structure. So definitely what we have generally, we have after having this 2 years consolidation or ending diagonal here, we expect the next wave to form to the upside and a very strong rally. So definitely we can expect this to come into testing the 1.68 on the near term before the end of the year. I will expect this to come into testing this zone before the end of the year. Looking at the risk, this will be very awesome if I'm to take a swing trade here. I'm going to be risking this 471 pips. I'm going to be targeting 1,300 pips. That will be a very awesome and classic trade to take. I like to take swing trades once in a while because it's often profitable and it allows you the freedom to actually work and do a lot of things. Because last year we actually took this trade last year also risking this low in targeting this high, 2,300 pips, and also risking 600 pips. So that was very awesome last year, 3 years ago. Okay, last year we actually watched the pay actually still drop further down because of when we spoke about this, we talked about also the euro indices, how the euro indices was still falling last year. I want to see the euro indices drop before then we then pick pace up after we marked up this thing, after this consolidation here. So it's overall what we want to do. So looking at the next page, what I'll be speaking about will be the euro CHF. We've talked about the euro CHF for quite some time now, and we spoke about that we want to see the euro CHF actually rise into testing this high one more time. I expect the euro CHF to actually come into testing the 1.1045 level, and definitely looking at how everything is going in the market, between 2016 2017 we had some sort of consolidation here, and also this is a two-year consolidation, so we can actually expect that things is going to fall into place here after 3 years. This was starting around 2018 2019 2020, so we can actually have that coming in, and if we have to take a swing trade, I think we might then look to see how we can target the upside here. Okay, 1.44, that would be a very good structure to be. So looking at taking a trade up this point, I think if you take a swing trade, within 1 year or December, we might actually hit that target that we want. So we can actually be wasting 210 pips to target 668 pips. So that would be a classic trade. So definitely we want to be taking our TP1 and also our TP2 instead of this area. That would be a classic trade to take. The GBP JPY, we spoke about GBP JPY right from last month, and we said here one of our positions that we want to see the GBP JPY actually come into testing this high of the 144 area. Okay, and that would be very awesome to see. Okay, definitely. We want to be speaking about some few USD pays. This morning, this presentation was supposed to be done by one of our co-hosts, but he's not around. I just have to anchor the session alone. It's one of our presentations we do on every first of day of the month. Okay, so looking at how everything is faring in terms of the AUD, right from time we spoke about the AUD as being one that we want to see a lot of push coming into the market with. Okay, and here right from this low, okay, right from this low, which was back in 2008, just after the great financial crisis, and we actually saw what happened during that time, and we had a rally up here. So definitely we can actually expect that rally up into testing the previous high, which was far back tested 2017 also. And whatever is happening in the whole general market now is not actually a financial crisis, but it's actually a dollar crisis. So it's not a financial crisis, it's a dollar crisis. Okay, dollar is having its own very crisis, because looking at the indices in terms of the dollar, how everything is faring, we have seen dollar then fall off the cliff back here, which actually was actually resistance far back to 15, and also support far back to 18, and also support far back to 19 to 20, actually falling off the cliff. So we can actually expect price to actually come into testing the 2018 low, which is inside of this area, before then actually looking for more liquidity. Also further testing the 2010 low or high probably, which was what we saw here, because definitely we can expect that unless which this will actually form some sort of M structure, and that will then come back to retest and further drop for the dollar indices. But definitely I don't expect the dollar indices to actually fall to the ground. Okay, so looking at this, definitely the USD and JPY were actually the weakest. Okay, in terms of the safe haven currencies, actually the weakest, but definitely we are starting to see some sort of build up for the USD JPY actually coming into the market. But definitely what I want to be seeing first is I want to be seeing a confirmation, and if we can have a test of this zone, okay, that would be a very nice time to actually start looking for setups in taking that trade action. Around the 104,500 level will be a very good area to start actually pushing up one more time to some good technical areas. Okay, but looking at how everything looks there, so we can actually expect that if you can actually come into testing this marked zone, that would be a nice time to actually look for those opportunities. But definitely we can actually take a short trade setup if we actually have opportunity to do so. But definitely it will not be a very profitable one, because looking at the JPY, how it fell with JPY actually fell off the cliff, and we are then seeing uprise coming to the market unless we can have a bounce off the structure. But definitely this is where I want to see the bounce off, because looking at how everything is in the market, if I'll be taking, okay, so here around the 78.1 Fibonacci level, it's also currently tested at the moment, and we can actually expect the 100% actually come into reaching, and thereby also testing the previous high. So definitely here I'm not seeing any reversal pattern of some sort. No reversal pattern of some sort. So everything is still bullish inside that area. So definitely want to see more weakness coming to JPY. this was 2016 support, also bounced off 2016 support. Definitely, this was also 2017 high, which we spoke about, and this 2018 high. Definitely, we can expect price to come into testing the 2018 high, if and only if whatever is happening in the market can actually continue. But definitely by September, I expect to see some sort of reversal or some sort of pullback in terms of how the whole data market framework actually works. Because definitely on September, we actually start seeing reversals in almost all the markets. Okay, here also was a similar situation. September dropping down here by um September we start having some reversal, some sort, then for the next drop. So we can actually expect some push down to the downside, then for the next rally to the upside if we are to see what is happening in the whole general market. Because this was September here and move up, then drop one more time. Also, it was September, okay, drop, push up, then drop. So we can actually expect drop, push up to come into the market, and definitely that would be very awesome to see. So in terms of the CHF, what I spoke about the CHF, I spoke about the CHF quite some time ago, because definitely then this was a very key structure, and we actually saw price in there breaking up that structure, coming back to retest, and could not really make that rally to downside. So you can expect the CHF to actually truncate one more time into testing this area here, which was also backdated far back 2019. So I can expect that to happen in the market. But overall, what trade are we going to take with the USD in terms of today? So we're not going to take any trade with the USD this week whatsoever. We got it in the buy trade, and we hopped off here at the 1.33, which I spoke about earlier on. And this is very classic, and we want to see more setups, okay, into looking at what we want to be doing next. Okay, 1.33 level is quite a very good area to be looking at, because I spoke about this, and it really came out as planned, and everything awesome. So looking at how we want to be taking, okay, first with the sentiments, what's happening around the sentiments? Let's look at what happened around the sentiments here. Oh gosh, okay. So the AUD card, let's see, monthly time frame, we have this key structure being broken. We can't really expect a test of this structure one more time, but looking at how everything is going in the market, I really think the AUD card can actually start, all right, doing more push to the upside rather than downside. Okay, but in terms of the AUD CHF should also further be going down, not really to the upside, but further be going down, because looking at CAD on the longer term, I see CAD actually going down on the longer term. Probably we might then see in the next 3 years, we can actually see AUD CAD coming to test the 1.06 area. Okay, the NZD CHF actually round a key structure here, which was August high, coming back to test the August high, and that will also be classic to see how everything will fare around the August high. We actually had price trading inside of sort of this ending diagonal, and we had the breakdown, and definitely we can actually take a Fibonacci from the swing high, okay, to the swing low, and we are currently approaching the 61.8 Fibonacci level. So that will be a very good area to start looking for short trade. Okay, so we're looking at the NZD weakness, not really the CHF strength coming to the market. So the CHF can actually be more sideways, while the NZD can actually be going down, and we can then see the NZD CHF actually go down as a result of that. Okay, so we're not speaking about this because of the CHF strength coming into the market, but more of a sideways CHF can actually prompt more of a downward movement in terms of how everything is faring with the NZD CHF. So looking at how everything is faring in the market generally, this is technically a very key structure here. So if you can have a test of that structure early in the month, I think that would be a nice time to actually look for those first setup coming into the market. And definitely this would be a very good buy short area to look for those trades. So we're just going to mark this down, and this will be a very good area to start looking for the short trade. And looking at how everything is faring in the market, this will be a very good risk to reward in terms of risk. Put our entry up here. We can risk as much as 55 pips, and we can target as much as 194 pips. So that would be 1:4 risk to reward. So that would be very awesome trade to take. All right, guys, that'll be all for today. I hope to see you soon. It's University of Juvenile of GW Trading. I teach not people how to trade, but how to trade successfully. Trade successfully actually involves a different mentality, and it's actually good when you know how to trade successfully. I teach students to trade their own money rather than having to use their money to people, or definitely other traders to actually trade their money for them. Trade your money so that you can actually understand how what you are making in a particular week. And trading is highly profitable and also involves great risk, a lot of that. So, but definitely when you understand what you're doing in the general market, definitely you will be making great reward. Actually, trading doesn't just involve actually marking up charts and then putting up a sort of lines in your chart. It involves you actually knowing what to look for. And then when you know what to look for definitely on your chart, you'll definitely be in profit soon. Okay, I love you all and see you soon.